The week's going to start off very active on the East Coast with a very potent storm system. California is also going to get hit with a lot of rain this week. Other than that, pretty quiet, and I think the theme is going to be, after a brief cold snap in some spots, it looks like it's going to be very mild right through Christmas. I'm John Felt. This is a Blue Water Outlook Weekly Weather Briefing. Let's get started. Well, like I said, a big, very strong storm system moving now northward along the coast, and that's going to impact the mid-Atlantic region and the Northeast today and tomorrow with very heavy rain and very high winds. It's going to affect populated areas including Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York, and anywhere into the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. Now, as far as rain goes last week, rain and snow, overall pretty quiet. Some areas here in the central U.S. got a soaking rain, and this was that storm system. Look at that. That produced 2 to 5 inches of rain over parts of North Florida and parts of the southeast U.S. That's impacted rivers. You take a look at Florida, rivers are running high, but in the central U.S., including the lower Mississippi, we have quite low flows, and that continues to impact barge traffic in spots. Now, last week temperatures were quite mild, and one of the things that in this week's briefing and probably even in week 2 is areas that are unusually cold this time of year are going to be relatively mild. This was last week, and the temperature departure at Minneapolis was 10 degrees above normal for the week. This is a plot of Minneapolis temperatures, and the gray box there indicates the range of high and lows, and it's been running in this area here in pink. That's indicating well above normal through most of the month. Reason why is we're in this Pacific trough type pattern, a trough or a digging of the jet stream in the Pacific, and then a ridge of high pressure or a bowing to the north in the central U.S., and that brings mild air over much of the central U.S. and parts of the east as well. And that looks like, as far as this model here, GEFS, it looks like that's going to continue into the first week of January, and then perhaps a transition. It's not real clear what this transition will be. It's still about 2 to 3 weeks out, but it does look like we could transition at that time to maybe not as mild. But this week, it looks like we are going to have this East Coast storm. This is at the jet stream level, but this is the big story right here. And by the middle of the week, that high pressure covers a large part of the U.S. and in the upper Midwest and parts of Kansas or Canada, Great Lakes. You can see it's very much intense, very much further north than normal. So what that means is going to be unusually mild weather. And take a look at Christmas right in here. Minneapolis, Green Bay, Milwaukee, Iowa, Des Moines, and other areas, Chicago. Areas that are normally really cold for Christmas are going to have a reprieve. It is going to be unusually mild, and that's going to really go right through pretty much the end of 2023. Now, I did look out a little bit further, the CFS model, to see if there's any signs of that transition. And honestly, it looks to me like that mild weather could continue into January. We'll see. The long-range outlook comes out, I believe, this Thursday, so we'll see what that shows. But that'll be the question mark, I guess, right now, is out towards the first week of January, second week of January. Is there a transition or not? It's a little bit unclear right now. Okay, so as far as this week, what do we have? Well, we have that system right here, this one right here. This is right now, very slow moving. By Thursday, it's right here. That's going to affect California with some heavy rain and maybe snow at higher elevations. The other area of heavy rain will be this track of 2 to 4 inches of rain right up along the immediate coast, all the way up from the southeast to the northeast, and that's going to occur over the next 48 hours. As far as snow goes, that system in the west, Pacific storm, is going to enhance snow over higher elevations in California. And then in the colder air behind that system, what we're going to have is we're going to have some light snow, with the exception of the Appalachians, where it's going to be enhanced, maybe a little bit heavier snow in parts of the Appalachians. Okay, and finally, let's take a look at week 2, the period generally between Christmas and New Year's. We're getting into that period, and it does look like that mild weather is going to continue, especially over the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, right through the end of the year. And here's our precipitation. This is that El Nino path, and that could be continued on the wet side. Now, next weekend, Christmas. I will not be doing a briefing. I'll be talking with you again in 2 weeks. Wish you and your family a great Christmas, and enjoy the mild weather if you are areas that normally are quite cold. Take care.